Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Clofoduti, oh, ciao tutti. Verse 2. Anytime your world gets lonely and you find true friends a few, anytime you see a rainbow, that will be a sign the storm is through. Anytime will be the right time. Anytime that all will do. So anytime you say you want only my love, that's the time I'll come back home to you. And now we whistle. Anytime you're in Zaziza, Zarazi. Now we scat. Za 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 da da za 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 va 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 da va ba di da 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 dee da da da. Da 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 ba 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 da 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 ba da ba 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 da ba ba ba. Anytime. All right, that is anytime. I'm so excited because I have found a new song in this old book. This is the book I've been digging through for 6 months. It's The Daily Ukulele by the lovely couple Liz and Jim Beloff. Honestly, I don't know if they're lovely, and I don't know if they're still a couple. The book is 10 years old. I hope that they are still lovely and a couple. I don't know. I hope they're happy, whatever they're doing. Even if they're in a thruple, I hope they're happy. I hope they're a happy thruple. I don't know what I'm saying. In any case, I found this book that led me on my ukulele journey, and I just found this song I had never noticed. It's just one page past Always, which I sing every night. Anyhow, I'm going to tell you about the song. This song is called, can you guess what the title of the song is? Anytime you're feeling lonely. Who dances like that? There's a cartoon character. Anytime you're feeling blue. Anytime you feel downhearted. Da da dee da 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 da. Anyhow, it's called Anytime. It's not called Anyhow. The song is called Anytime. Let me tell you about the song. Anytime. It's from 1921, first of all. 1921. Released December 1924. So it was published in 1921 at the end of the year. And then it was released December 1924. Recorded October 1924. It became a hit on the OK label. The OK label is OKEH, capital O, capital K, little e, little h, OK. So it was recorded by Emmett Miller for OK Records. Emmett Miller, unfortunately, when you click on Emmett Miller, you see him. He was a minstrel singer. So, you know, there's so much history in our country that's polluted with the horrible, our horrible racist past. So anyway, there it is. Emmett Miller first recorded it. But then the song, Emmett Miller recorded it in 1924, accompanying himself on the ukulele. So the original recording of this was with ukulele. Lawson recorded his own version for Gennett Records, so the guy who wrote it. Oh, sorry, Herbert Happy Lawson wrote it. It's a Tin Pan Alley song written by Herbert Happy Lawson. So Lawson then recorded his own version in 1925, and then it became associated with country music when Eddie Arnold rescued it from obscurity 23 years later in 1948, and it topped the Billboard Jukebox Folk Records chart for 9 weeks. Anytime you're feeling lonely, la da da. Thank you, Mary. This is quite an item here. My mom sent this up to me. This was done by her mother. This is a needlepoint. It's needlepoint. Here, let me show you. Anytime, da dee da 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 da. See, if you get close, you can see it's needlepoint. I think it's a Vermeer. I think it's based on a Vermeer, like the music lesson I want to say. Because Vermeer always had that window lighting happening. And then also in the background, there's a painting within a painting. And I believe that the painting within the painting is a windmill. So if that window wasn't enough of a giveaway that this is a Vermeer, the windmill surely is. Not to mention the 17th century Dutch schmata on that woman's head. Anytime you're feeling lonely. Did I get it straight? Ish. That was pretty good. So, yeah, that's the song, Anytime. What a great song. Oh, Happy Lawson. So anyhow, so like I said, if it was first recorded by Emmett Miller on ukulele, then Lawson, the composer, recorded it himself a year later. Then it became a country hit, which sat on the charts for 9 weeks. Eddie Fisher released a version in 1951 that reached number 2 in the US. Patsy Cline recorded it in 1969. The Osmond Brothers recorded it in 85. I mean, this song really had legs, as they say. What a great... Hey, Saul Youssef. Nice to see you. Hello, Mother. I was just showing your mother's needlepoint. In fact, her name was Gertrude, and Gertrude did that. And I'll show you this as well. She also did the chair that I'm sitting on. This was also sent. She also needle-pointed the piano bench. It's a chair. It has a lyre. I'm telling the truth. It's a lyre. Or maybe it's a lute. Anyhow, that's a beautiful... So, yeah. That's what's happening. I have a little bit of the... and I'm wearing the Django t-shirt again. It's Django time. Don't miss his comedy special. It's one of the best ones of the last few years. It's called Bag of Tricks. Very funny. I'm wearing it both to promote because I think he's hilarious, but also because the t-shirt is really comfortable. Gornamont's just groaned. He just groaned. Anytime. Oh, and I'm sitting at the piano, so we can just... Anytime you're feeling lonely. Anytime you're feeling blue. Anytime you feel downhearted. That will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you think about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. There it is. we have not played a piano before on this show, but I thought for to vary the visual setting, I would, and also to show off my grandmother's needlepoint, I would sit here. But you know what? If you're going to show off artwork on a YouTube show, let me give you a little bit of pro tip. A little bit of let me give you let me give you a little bit of a pro tip that I just discovered. Don't position the artwork directly behind your big head. That's not how promo works. Otherwise you gotta lean the whole show. Or I could just, anyhow, there it is. Thanks, Mom, for sending this up, and thanks to Gertrude of blessed memory, her skill with the needle. She was very artistically and craftily inclined. She liked music. She liked this kind of thing. Anytime, ba ba da da da. It would have been fun to be able to perform some of these songs for them, for that generation, because they would have grown up actually hearing these songs. Like this thing, Anytime from 1921. So my grandmother would have been 10 years old, approximately. So she would have maybe been hearing this on the radio. Saul says, what is all this then? What's all this then? You know what, Saul, I'm glad you asked. Saul, what's all this then happens to be the title of my upcoming autobiography. What's all this then? It's not, but I like that as a title for an autobiography. What's all this? I'm glad you asked, what's all this? What's all this? This is my show. It happens every single night at 9. I mean, every single night. I don't mean 5 nights a week. I don't mean Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I don't mean on weekends or just on weekdays. I mean every every day, every single day. Tonight is day 360 in a row. Starting on July 14th last year, I started doing this show every night at 9. It ran on Instagram for many months, and then 3.5 months ago, it switched to YouTube. And here we are. It's the nosho every night at 9. It's talk, it's music, it's cosmology, cosmetics, cosmetology. It's the cosmos. All right, I have a tale of, I have 2 more songs I wanted to do tonight, and also I have another thing I wanted to discuss. I have 2 more songs and 2 more things I want to talk about, so I think we can do that in our remaining time together. But before I do that, I wanted to see what else did our friend Happy Lawson, Herbert Happy Lawson. I mean, what a name, and here come my giant knuckles. Herbert Happy Lawson, song catalog. Herbert Lawson, discography. So when you put his name in, Anytime pops up. I'm going to assume he wasn't just a one-hit wonder with just that one tune, but Anytime seems to dominate. Oh my gosh, it might be. Well, maybe someone can find something else that Herbert Lawson composed, but right now I'm not finding anything. So that could be just like lightning. Lightning struck that one time. Like Herbert Lawson biography. Herbert Lawson received a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry from Tufts University. Throughout his career, Lawson worked on the development of batteries. During World War II, he worked for Section T of the Office of Scientific Research and Development at the Carnegie Institution of Washington and at Johns Hopkins University. Different Herbert Lawson. Oh, here's another Herbert Lawson. Herbert Lawson was an English professional footballer who played in the Football League as an outside right, most notably for Brentford and Arsenal. Different Herbert Lawson. Oh, Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Herbert Lawson, currently the owner of Wyndham Group LLC. Anyway, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, here we have some. Okay, we dug a little and we found something. Listen to this. Okay, here we go. We just struck pay dirt. By the way, Wyndham, I don't know if that guy in Bloomfield Hills, that Herbert Lawson, is like the head of that hotel chain. That would be a big company. Ba-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da, da-da-da-da. Hey, Astral. Thank you. Nice to see you. Anytime you feel downhearted. Okay, here we go. This is from a blog. So can we trust it? Is there even such a thing as a blog anymore? Is a blog an anachronistic, outdated, outmoded, antique, crusty, dusty, musty old term? Maybe there's no such thing as a blog anymore. But here we go. Here's from a blog. The author of that old-time favorite, Anytime, was recaptured in Chattanooga 15 days after he escaped from county jail Dellen. So the Dayton Beach Morning Journal reported on 27 June 1950. Oh, that was 30 years after he wrote this song. Mr. Lawson was being detained in order to answer 2 charges of embezzlement and charges of removing property and jailbreaking. He had promised to arrange and publish songs for a woman, but failed to do what he had been paid to do. I can't find any other biographical details of Herbert Lawson. Wish I had happier things to say. That end quote. Oh, here's someone on ukulele playing it. So well, there it is. That's what I found. I don't know anything about that guy, and maybe he did just come up with that one tune. What a great tune! It's very cheery, and it's also, but there are some sociopathic, um, maybe even neurotic components to the lyrics, which I'll point out. Anytime you're feeling lonely, and anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted. Okay, so far so good. That will prove your love for me is true. Okay, that's delusional. Anytime you're feeling bad, that will prove that your love for me is true. That's straight up delusion. Anytime you think about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. Okay, anytime you think about me, I'll be thinking about you. That's, again, more delusion. And it's also, it's dangerously vague, because what if she's thinking about him, but she's thinking, like, what a creep that guy was? So that means anytime you're thinking about what a creep I was, I'm thinking about you. That sounds like a kind of a stalker situation. Thinking of you, so anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Oh, come home to you. So they were a couple, I guess, and this guy deserted. She kicked him out, but he's waiting. He's available at any time. I think that shows also some characterological flaws. If he's ready at the drop of a dime without any discussion to come home. It sounds like they have issues. They have things to discuss. Verse 2, let's parse the psychology here. Anytime your world gets lonely and you find true friends are few, that might be your problem rather than theirs. Maybe you're not a good friend. I mean, I'm talking to Happy here. That will be anytime you see a rainbow, that will be a sign the storm is through. Well, anytime you see a rainbow, that'll be a sign the storm is through. That's just rudimentary meteorology. Anytime will be the right time. Anytime at all will do. So he's sounding desperate. Anytime at all, anytime is the right time. So anytime you say you want me, you want only my love, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Come back home to you. Okay, well, there we go. We've, I think we've explored that as much as it deserves exploring. Okay, here's what I wanted to discuss. Good news. The documentary of Today Is Now. So 2 years ago, we made this, we made a, two years ago, I wrote a book. I wrote this satirical self-help book. My character is Dr. Samuel Benjamin. He's a guru, he's a coach, he's a therapist. He wants to be a cult leader, possibly. He wants to change the world with his methodology, with his revolutionary approach to therapy. Therapy in just 3 sessions. That's what Dr. Benjamin guarantees. He guarantees successful therapy in only 3 quick sessions. And Dr. Benjamin has a self-help book, which is called Today Is Now. He doesn't like the term self-help because he says, if it's self-help, you know what? I might have to stop using that line because, and again, this is one of those moments where 2 comedians come up with the same thing, decades apart. I never heard the bit before, but I think I recently on an old video saw George Carlin pointing out the idea that self-help is a misnomer. Because if it's self-help, why are you reading someone else's book? And basically, Dr. Benjamin makes the same point. He doesn't like this to be called self-help because he's the one helping you. In any case, Dr. Benjamin Today Is Now. There's a mockumentary which shows Dr. Benjamin at work with his clients. And you see a little bit of him in his world. And you see him hawking the book and trying to make the book a bestseller. So the mockumentary, the eponymous mockumentary, the mockumentary is also called Today Is Now. The mockumentary, Today Is Now, which we entered in a bunch of festivals. It was accepted into a festival. I'm very happy to report. It will be screening on August 7th, Wednesday, August 7th at 3:30 p.m. in Queens, New York, as part of the NYC Festival of Cinema 2024. That's right. Today Is Now, screening, 3:30 p.m., Wednesday, August 7th, just a month away, at the UA Cinema on Queens Boulevard. So there it is. That's the good news. We entered a bunch of festivals. We got a bunch of no thank yous. We just got this yes, which was very exciting. And now we're waiting on a bunch more. That's the news. Okay. Anytime. Okay, here's another song from the 1920s. This is from 1926. Baby face, you got that cutest little baby face. There's not another one could take your place. Baby face, my poor heart is jumping. You sure have started something. Baby face, I'm up in heaven when I hear your fond embrace. When I hear your fond embrace. No, when I'm in your fond embrace. I didn't need a shove, 'cause I just fell in love with your pretty baby face. Okay, we looked at this song a few weeks ago. This is someone who's into babies. It's a little bit weird. He likes people who look like babies. Yeah, I really can't get on board with that. Baby face, you got the cutest little baby face. It could be a very large person who just has a tiny little face of a baby on a big head, but just a tiny little baby face. Babyface. It could be a horror movie about a protagonist called Babyface, and it's a really scary, like a killer, but he's named Babyface. I like that. You know how like the very large mobster in some movies is named Tiny? Babyface, you got the cutest little baby face. There's not another one could take your place. Babyface, my poor heart is jumping. You sure have started something. Babyface, I'm up in heaven when I'm in your fond embrace. I didn't need a shove, 'cause I just fell in love with your pretty baby face. I didn't need a shove. I didn't need a shove, 'cause I just fell in love with your pretty baby face. Okay. Whatever you're into. No baby on board. That's funny, yeah. Saul, how do you have no access to Queens Boulevard? Hop on a plane, hop on a bus, hop on a train, get an Uber. Whew. I think I'm allergic to ride sharing. Oh, let me a little shout out to Miho Suzuki, my friend Miho, who did the photo. She did the cover photo, and she did the author photo with Fafner. There's Fafi. Oh, I think that the author photo, that photo, I'm now using on YouTube as my profile photo. It's such a nice photo. Thank you, Miho. Okay, that's I wanted to do that song also a little deranged, that song. The other song was a little bit desperate. This one's a little bit deranged, but oh, there's Bill Bailey. Won't you please come home? Someone mentioned that on the show last night. Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? Okay, I got to learn this one. Maybe for tomorrow. All right, just a little Stephen Foster from 1864. Beautiful dream, awake unto me. This is like a, I'm going to call this a lullaby because we're almost at the end of the show. Even though it's a song about dreaming, but I'm also saying wake unto me, so it's a wake up song, but think of it as a lullaby. Beautiful dream, awake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, list while I woo thee with soft melody. Gone are the cares of life's busy throng. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. I don't know. To me, that sounds like a lullaby. Stephen Foster, 1864. Oh, here's the other thing I wanted to discuss tonight. We've done all the songs. I'm going to have a sip. Please stay in touch with me about our MVP Movement Voter Project fundraiser happening in mid-September with some very fancy schmancy A-list comedians, celebrities, whom we are still working on booking. And when I say we, I mean me and the Reverend Barry Lynn, formerly of the Americans for Separation of Church and State. I might have the name of the organization slightly wrong, but he's a very interesting guy, the Reverend Barry Lynn, a reverend and a lawyer and a thinker and a writer and a pundit. So we are hosting a Zoom fundraiser for Movement Voter Project, www.movement.vote, www. You know, some people say W, it's double, W, www.movement.vote. You can also look up MVP, which is the initials, or which are the initials if you prefer English. I just thought that would be a cute bumper sticker. It would say baby on board, but it would just be a picture of a baby on a surfboard. Maybe that already exists. We can all Google that. Baby on board. Okay, here's what I wanted to discuss. So I've been telling you about my swimming project, which is getting ready for 60 days from now is the Swim for Life in Provincetown, also known as the Swim for Your Life. That's what I call it because there are sharks in the water. Not really, it's in the bay. The sharks are out in the ocean. Anyway, Swim for Life, it's a 1.2-mile swim raising funds for some very worthwhile local nonprofits. And I've decided this year I'm going to swim the whole thing butterfly just to torture myself, just because I'm desperate for attention. No, I wanted the challenge, and it's going well. Today I did 330 strokes. Yesterday I did 320. My plan was to add 8 strokes a day, but today I added 10 strokes just because the math is easier. You can't be thinking about math as I described. Math while you're swimming and out of breath. But here's what happened. At around 300 strokes today, and it happened the last few days around the same time, I started belching quite a bit, belching underwater. Now, when you're coming up, and it's a big gulp of air, and then you're breathing sort of a long exhale, and then a quick inhale and a long exhale. And I think what's happening is I'm swallowing a lot of air. Like there's just a lot of air. So today, between 300 strokes, or between about 305 and finishing at 330, I was doing a lot of belching slash. It was almost like heaving. It was quite a scene. But there was no nausea. It was just a kind of, it was extreme belching. Listen, we're like family here at this point. I'm sharing all sorts of things. So I think I'm going to plateau for a little while around 330. Try to get used to that before I continue. Otherwise, I'm afraid I might belch and my kidney might fly out my ears. Like I'm no expert in anatomy, but I think if you belch hard enough, your kidneys will fly out your ears. Okay, that's the update on the Swim for Life. And the show, Saul, if you're still here, the show ends every night with the same song. It's Irving Berlin, 1925. It's called Always, and it's my little outro song. Oh, Fafi's running around like she has to go pee-pee. So we'll make it quick. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always, that's when I'll be there always. Not just for an hour, not just for a day, not just for a year, but always. Always here at 9, every night at 9. Thank you very much for your eyes and your ears and whatever other organs you have used to tune in and enjoy the show. Please feel free to share this. You can copy the link and share it with anybody. You can like it. You can subscribe. You can do all that stuff. But it's still a free country for another 4 months. So only do it if you want to. All right, everybody, have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow night.